I stopped because of one uncomfortable truth. Hey guys, welcome to Talk with Nick again. During my PhD, I used to make a lot of YouTube videos about studying abroad, scholarships, PhDs, and so on. Those videos did pretty well. People loved them. And then, toward the end of my PhD, I stopped making them. I didn't stop because I ran out of topics. I didn't stop because I suddenly hated research. I stopped because of one uncomfortable truth that almost nobody talks about in academia: financial stagnation. If you are thinking about doing a PhD or already in one, or you are just curious whether this path is still worth it in 2026, watch this before you invest or commit your next 4 to 7 years of your life. Let me give you some context. During my PhD, I was that person who was making videos about how to study abroad, how to find scholarships, how to make your application stand out. Well, I deeply believe in education, research, and the idea that PhD could open many doors. And to be honest, there is a beautiful side to PhD training. You get immense intellectual growth, you learn to write detailed research papers and execute complex or rigorous experiments. You train your mind to think deeply and solve hard problems. I'm not here to bash PhDs or academia. I'm here to talk about the side of the PhDs or academia that nobody talks about, or you don't find that in PhD brochures. Here is what almost no one told me at the start. PhD training comes with a hidden challenge: financial stagnation. For 4 to 5 years, many PhD students are effectively earning well below the minimum wage once you factor in the actual hours they work, the weekends in the lab, the crazy mental load, and the opportunity cost of not doing something else for 4 to 5 years. And postdocs also face the similar struggles: more experience, more responsibility, and still no enough financial security. It's not that there is anything wrong with pursuing science for the sake of knowledge, but financial pillar of life often gets neglected. Too many incredible and talented researchers spend years surviving below $25,000 or sometimes less depending on which country you are living in. And this reality hit me toward the end of my PhD. At first, you are just focused on few things like passing your courses, getting your experiments to work, writing your research articles, doing your internships, and making sure that you are not disappointing your supervisor. But near the end of my PhD, my focus shifted from how do I finish my thesis to what does my life look after this thesis? And I remember this thinking that I've been doing this research thing for almost 6 years as a PhD, as a visiting research fellow, and other academic titles. If I keep going into postdoc or another academic position, how long I am willing to live in this holding pattern where my intellectual growth is high, but my financial growth is flat. It was not only about money as a number, but it was about sustainability, independence, and the ability to actually support the life that I wanted. Now add one more layer: the era we are living in. AI and technological advancements are rapidly reshaping the workforce. New roles are emerging in data and AI, product and tech, startup, and the creators economy that pays better and often move faster than the traditional academic paths. The skills that you build in a PhD, like deep work, problem solving, experimentation, learning to solve complex things quickly, are extremely valuable. But academia does not always connect these skill sets with the outside world. If academia does not evolve with better financial support, real career guidance, and integration into the emerging industries, then a PhD risks becoming less relevant for future generations. Not because the knowledge is less valuable, because the trade-off becomes harder to justify. Why spend years in financial stagnation when there are other paths that respect both your brain and your bank account? Now, this brings me back to the original question. Why did I stop making those study abroad and scholarship videos? Because at some point it felt incomplete. I didn't want it to keep encouraging people to choose a path that I was questioning myself in terms of financial instability. And it started to feel like I was only showing one side of the story: how to secure funding, how to get in, how to position yourself as the best candidate. But I wasn't talking enough about how does it feel like to live on stipend for years. I pulled back, not because I think no one should do a PhD, but because I just wanted to change my message. My message is not that don't do a PhD, but my message is be aware. Balance passion with financial sustainability. But love for the subject doesn't mean that you have to ignore the financial reality. You deserve the clarity about stipends and cost of living. You deserve realistic career options both inside and outside academia. And most importantly, the freedom to say that I want both intellectual growth and financial growth. What do you do with all this information? If you are considering PhD, don't ask, can I get the admission and scholarship? Ask, what does my financial life looks like during and after PhD? Look at the stipend, cost of living, and where graduates actually end up. If you are already in PhD, start thinking about the skills that translate outside the lab: coding, data analysis, communication, content, product thinking, if your situation allows it. Talk to people in industry, startups, and non-traditional path, not just academics. Now on this channel, I'm shifting the focus. Instead of just how to get into PhD, I want to talk about the realities of academic life, money, and career design for researchers, and how to build a future-proof career in the age of AI. If that's the conversation you want to be part of, please subscribe, comment with where you are in your journey, and share this with someone who is thinking of PhD or is already doing a PhD. I don't want to scare away people from research. I love research. I'm still a researcher at heart. But I want you to walk in with your eyes open about the opportunities and the cost.